Coach Sandy.
So I've been helping Sage with these exercises, and the problem with this form is, what you can tell like blatantly from these exercises, like there's these simple exercises you should be able to engage your glutes right away, and Sage can't do it. And now I made a mistake here because I was asking Sage to do exercises that he can't do. Like I kept telling him just like feel your glutes, and he kept saying he couldn't do it. So what I should have done, I should have backed off on those exercises and started with easier exercises to help him just learn to engage his glute in really simple movements and then move up to the bigger exercises. But for such a good runner like Sage, not to be able to engage your glutes, it's not necessarily that they're weak, it's just that they're not firing when they should. That's a big issue for mountain running, because really like you get a lot of power from your quads, but you're not going to get as much power as you can get from your glutes. It's such like a major muscle group, and so that's what we're trying to work on with Sage right now.
Yeah, I became too quad dominant over the years. Ever since 2015, slogging around, training for UTMB, doing slow stuff, I could actually notice a difference in the shape of my muscles. My quad got really fat here. Fat in a bad way. It's not helping me. Maybe it helps a little on the downhills, but it's not the powerhouse. Whereas when I ran 58 minutes at Mount Washington and I was climbing really well, I'd slither my way up using my hamstrings and my butt, my glutes. You get a lot more power climbing with your glutes and that firing action. And I used to have that paw back and I lost it. And because of the lack of activation, it's caused some instability issues. You can see it in my form the last several years. It's caused a lack of speed, a lack of climbing power, I think, and then an atrophy kind of the butt, even an atrophy of the calf muscles. I think my calves are shrunk, so not good for climbing, but got to work on that. That's why I got the hex bar and doing the deadlifts.
We can do it groups.
Yeah, Sandy got all sorts of exercises. Check out her channel, Running Well to Believe, for more exercises on that. Firing the glutes, activating the glutes, hamstrings, even calves. Not getting too quad dominant. It's a very common problem, especially if you've been running for a while, especially as you get into trail running and mountain running. But I think I messed it up even doing flat pavement running too much. And yeah, it comes down to these little tweaks, I think, about staying healthy, but increasing your form for efficiency and power, and looking at what I used to do when I was running well. But the higher intensity workouts help iron that out, as well as these strength exercises that you can do at home or in the gym. We got more videos coming your way for running form on that. All right, so this is my problem. It looks like I'm sitting in the saddle, but I actually think I have a anterior pelvic tilt, which is the arch in the lower back here. So it brings the hips low and back, but it's arched kind of in the back. And then part of that's from tight hip flexors, pulling the top of the pelvis forward like that. So what I gotta do is kind of thrust forward, like at the top of a deadlift, right? You're thrusting the hips forward, bringing the shoulders back. You don't want to run in a sway back like this, obviously. You want to have forward lean, but it's about shifting that pelvis like this forward so that you could get that power from the backs of your legs, your glutes, flexing your glutes. So when you're leaning forward and you're springing off, you get that spring coming from that power and you get that full hip extension. So that's part of my problem. I gotta stretch out my hips more, but then reactivate the glutes to get that powerful stride and my climbing power back.
Okay, so what Sage said is really good, but it's really easy to over-exaggerate that and kind of lose your center of gravity. So a really simple way to find your center of gravity is to put one hand on your stomach, one on your chest. Then you kind of lean back until you feel the weight on your heels. That's not great when you feel the weight on your heels, but this is just to get feeling for right way. And then you lean forward till you feel the weight on your forefeet. And then you try to find your center of mass by feeling the weight on your midfoot. So for me, this is my center of gravity. I feel the weight on my midfoot, not my forefoot, not my heel. And so apply what Sage said with this, and then you should be set up to run well. And this is also the position I want to start all my exercises from. So whenever I'm doing a deadlift or squat, like I want to start in this position.
It's an athletic stance, and you do have a slight forward lean from the ankles, kind of.
Yeah.
And then part of that, the key is keeping that pelvis, not having that too much of a sway back with your pelvis, but not having too much of an anterior or posterior pelvic tilt.
So, actually, what I'll do from here to kind of train it for your running form is, so I find this position, and then I'll start marching.
And there's a slight forward lean there coming from the ankles, powering through.
Sorry, I'm not on flat ground, so it's
yeah, you want to do this on, we should say, on uniform surface, flat ground, probably on pavement or in your house even is better. But yeah, that's a good take right there. Repositioning the pelvis, and that's what I got to focus on, is that pelvic shift. And again, part of it's the tight hip flexors. As you get older, sitting a lot, running the bad form, it leads to that, as well as the quad dominance, building up the quads too much, relying on them too much. They don't have the long-lasting climbing power that your butt and your hamstrings, and even springing up all through your calves as well, using the whole back of the leg on extension is real key. And it's just about using your body's physics and anatomy to get bigger gains with your stride, your power, and increase your efficiency. Thanks for watching on here. Be sure to subscribe for more of these running form tutorials. Check out Sandi's channel, Running Wild to Believe. She's got all sorts of great exercises on there. More to come. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for sharing these videos on social media. Thumbs up if you like them. Hope your running's going well. Stay tuned for more.